So in this video I wanted to show you how to identify some of the Dutch East India colonial VOC copper coinage that we have found in the Musi River Shipwreck hoard, and this should apply to most of the VOC coinage in general. Now I'm not talking about the coinage that was struck for use in Holland. This was struck specifically for use in the Spice Islands and the other Dutch colonial regions, but we have quite a few here. Every single one of these coins was pulled out of the Musi River Shipwreck hoard. None of these have been cleaned, so they look a little bit scabby. But what I wanted to do is kind of explain where I screwed up on these coins originally when I was first encountering these coins for the first time when they were first coming up, and how I figured out how to identify these coins and make it very easy and show you which is what. There's only one coin that I don't have on me at the moment that I can't show, so I can show you almost everything, then I can kind of explain the one that's missing. And I just want to warn you beforehand that I don't speak Dutch. I cannot pronounce the Dutch words besides Holland very well at all. So why don't we get to it? These coins were struck in denominations of half, one, and double duits. That's D-U-I-T. Every one of these coins are going to be copper. There are some that are silver, and those, as far as I know, are very, very rare. The Dutch did not strike much coinage in silver because they were using Spanish colonial cobs like this one, because it was a lot cheaper to produce, or it was cheaper to just trade or buy the Spanish silver outright versus producing it in Holland and exhausting their silver reserves, and they could also just steal it. So there's a lot of this in Indonesia, and there's a lot of it that's come out of the Musi River Shipwreck hoard. I'm going to explain the history of that in a different video, but right now I want to explain these coins, and hopefully you'll learn something from it, because I'm always talking about cobs. I wanted to talk about these. So what we're going to do is look at a few of these coins, and I'm going to show you kind of where I made the mistake. So this one here is a double, or double, I believe, Duit, and it's dated 1790, has a classic VOC monogram on it with a star. At the top is the little privy mark, some say the mint mark, and that is what I was always looking at, trying to identify these coins when I was first getting them in my divisions. And I thought, I cannot figure these coins out. So what I did is I just put them in a box and I hid them away for about 2-3 years, and I've now had them out for, I don't know, the last year, and I've learned the coins. So the thing that I found, and the easiest way to identify these coins, is by the crest on the reverse, and that actually may be the obverse. So here is the reverse or obverse, whatever, the crest on this type of coin, and this one shows two lions holding up a crown shield or crest with a very small flourish here at the bottom. And this one would come from UTRECHT. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but that is UTRECHT, UTRECHT. So this one's one of the more common mints that I see for this type of coinage. Seems like they produced a lot of these. I think this coin's like 5.5 grams or something like that. Again, it's uncleaned. This coin comes from, oh, and this is actually one of my favorites, but this one shows this little, most of the time shows this little gatehouse or castle at the top of the monogram. This one being 1770, the crest shows a lion within waves, and this one comes from Zeeland, like New Zealand, but the original Zeeland. So yeah, this one was produced in Zeeland, and this was produced specifically for use in Indonesia and some of the other Dutch colonies. So you can identify this one, this mint here, by this crest. So it's always a line within waves, and just think of New Zealand. That's what I do, because it's Zeeland, the Zeeland mint. This one is 1750, again with the beautiful VOC monogram. I love that monogram. We have a little rosette here at the top, and I already know what mint this is, but this one came from Holland, and we know that because it's a single lion within a crowned shield, and that is all it is a lion facing left within a shield crest, and that is Holland. Most typically, it seems like these coins have this little rosette there at the top, but you have to understand that sometimes the other mints did this as well, so you can't really rely solely on that mark. It has to be like a combination of this and that if you're really going to peg it down. But for me, identifying this as Holland is all I need to do. This coin looks like it's a little bit later in date, so I'm going to set that one down and get back to it. Did I just put this down? Yeah, I did. I grabbed the wrong pile. I'm looking through the phone, so I'm kind of getting screwed up here. Here is one from 1775. We can't really see any privy mark there at the top. So this one comes from West Friesland, and this is 2 stacked lions within a crowned shield crest. Pretty easy to remember and pronounceable. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that the right way, but West Friesland. It is always the exact same crest, these 2 lions stacked within a shield. So that's a pretty nice coin. I haven't cleaned any of these up. Well, I did a few early on, and they actually cleaned up pretty nice, but for the most part, I just kind of leave them alone. This one is from 1805, and this has, looks like I think it's a, I don't know, like a little piece of wheat, if I remember correctly. And this is the only type that you're ever going to see that has, I believe anyway, that has the legend around. But the crest shows 2 lions facing each other within a divided shield. So we have this shield that is divided and 2 lions like ready to box each other. It's like they're like, there's a little wall there so they can't get at each other. And then we have the legend, and the legends can, like I said, they can vary. So I can't read Latin, but I do believe it says Indonesia something 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 in Latin. This one, I think I already showed you, didn't I? If I didn't, then maybe I did. Zeeland, yeah, 1770 Zeeland. Okay. This one is a duet, a single duet. This one's from 1790. This one has the little boy in some weird little Holland, Netherlands clothes. To me, it looks like a salt shaker, but the privy mark is typically a star, but this one has a slightly different privy mark, which I do believe means it's from a different mint. But this one, again, is from UTRECHT, because we have that same crest with the lions holding up the shield, that little flourish there at the bottom, and the crown at the top. Let's see what we got left here. Which one's this one? Oops. And then we have this type here. This is a VOC monogram. This one is from Batavia, so this one was struck in Indonesia. There should be 2 of them here. Here's another one. It's a little bit nicer. See, we kind of have a little star at the top. But on the other side it says Java, and we have our date. This one is 1808, and this one is, again, 1808. From what I understand, these were struck during Louis Bonaparte from 1806 to 1810. I can't remember. There is one date that's very rare. And then we have these types here. This one is from 1805. This one is also from Batavia. These were struck from 1802 to 1808. And these ones are a little different. They do not have the VOC monogram, and instead they have a 5 1/16 gilder. So we have 5, 1/16, and a G at the bottom. Then we have a lion within a crown shield. I believe he's holding arrows and a sword, if I remember correctly. Now, the issues, and I have a hard time saying this, but I believe it's Overyssel, Overyssel is how it's spelled, / Batavia. So this issue, if it was Overyssel, would have a eagle here at the top versus that little star, and that's how you would tell the difference. And I think these were struck, the Overyssel issues anyway, were struck from 1803 to 1807. And like I said, they'll have an eagle here at the top instead of that star. So if you get this type, just look to see if it's got the star, it's Batavia. If it's got the eagle, it's Overyssel / Batavia. Anyway, last thing I want to show is just one of the contemporary / counterfeit / or contemporary counterfeit / imitations. You can see that we have a juxtaposed and reversed date, which says 1987, all backwards. And it actually, I think, is supposed to be 1789, something like that. But this is it's either a contemporary counterfeit or an imitation, and it's very typical of Indonesian imitations of the period. We see this a lot with imitation cobs as well, where everything's just kind of reversed. But yeah, this one's a really great piece actually because of what it is. But yeah, if you see something like this, it's worth probably a lot more than those. Anyway, I hope that helps. I actually find the VOC coinage to be really interesting, and there's a lot more I've got to learn, but I thought I'd share that, and hopefully if you've got some of these coins and you want to learn to identify them, that helps. Anyways, I will leave a list in the description of what mint crest is what. Till next time.